Hello everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. I would like to share with you a project from last weekend's card buffet, which we had a focus on sale-a-bration. Now, of course, with sale-a-bration, you can earn free items. There's no limit to how many items you can earn. And starting with earn a free sale-a-bration item with a $100 purchase. The more you spend, the more you earn. So during sale-a-bration, you can earn free products. And also there is a really awesome sign-up deal. Now, I do talk every now and then about joining Stampin' Up. And this is a really great way of getting some of your product at a little bit of a discount. So during sale-a-bration, you will get to choose $235 worth of product for $169. As an added bonus for sale-a-bration, there are two options that you can add on. The first option is an exclusive stamp set plus 2 packets of Stampin' Right markers, colour families of your choice. That's the first option. And this is going to add an extra $162 value to your starter kit. The second option is choosing an additional $51 worth of product. So if you look at the value-wise, taking option 1 is really awesome value. So the starter kit in general is great value. There's a few different perks, of course, with being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. You get to get discounts on your product. You get to be a part of a larger crafting community, and it's a global community. You get to go to Stampin' Up events. So there's lots of different fun things and benefits of being a demonstrator. So there is that information just there. If you have any questions, please just let me know, and I will have a chat to you about what joining Stampin' Up means and how it can benefit you. Okay, so that is just what I quickly want to touch on, because I really haven't touched much on sale-a-bration in the videos. Hello to Corinne and Mandy. Thank you for joining us. So I've also got the annual catalogue sitting here. Normally I have them both sitting out together because they both go hand in hand. So I want to share with you a card tonight. This is a simple stamping one. We are going to be using the Simply Said stamp set, which is from the annual catalogue. I think it's on around page maybe 19 or 20 of the annual catalogue. This stamp set is one of my favourites at the moment when it comes to sentiments, and I've always used it. So since it first came in the catalogue last year, I have used this one over and over and over again. So I am using this one again tonight. The other product that I'm using are the Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper, which are a part of Stampin' Up sale-a-bration. So let me just quickly flick through and find this paper for you so you can find it in your sale-a-bration catalogue. Here it is here, page 11 of the sale-a-bration catalogue, and this is one you can earn for free with a $100 purchase. So let me show you a little bit more close-up of these papers. So they are 12 by 12, and you get 12 sheets in the packet, so 2 of each design. So there are some really beautiful bright colours in this one. So there's pinks, there's blues, purples, you have some orange and some yellow in there too. And I don't have quite a full piece of this one because I've been using it. Let me flip it over and share the other side. The reverse side is less busy. We've also got, of course, some green in there as well. And if you like purples, there's quite a few different shades of purples in this paper. So there's also some Lost Lagoon, some Shy Shamrock. So they're those green tones. Blackberry Bliss, Gorgeous Grape, I think is another colour in here. This is Azure Afternoon, which is one of those brights. And also we've got a little bit of Peach Pie as well. So a really nice different colour combination. If the flip side is a bit too busy, always check the reverse side of your papers. It's going to be less busy, perhaps a little bit more versatile as well. So there are those papers. So the card I'm going to be sharing with you, as I mentioned, very much a simple stamping card. This one, when it opens, it's just the front flap of it's a little bit shorter. I have cut Let me see how many, what have I cut off there? So off the front section, I have cut 2.5 centimeters off just to create that different opening. So we're also using a second sale-a-bration product, which is the Fresh Freesia ribbon. So it does work nicely with these papers. So let me share with you what's in what you need for this card. Just pop the envelope aside. The base is a little bit shorter. Normally you'd have the length of the A4. So this piece of cardstock measures 14.9 by 18.5, and I've done a score line at 8 centimeters. So that's essentially cutting 2.5 centimeters off the length of, or the length of your card front. Hi Simone, thank you for joining us. Yeah, this I love this designer series paper. It's just so nice and bright. So very simple, which gives you that section that's cut off the front. Okay, let's pop that aside. As I mentioned, this is quite a simple card to put together. I do have 2 pieces of white, and these measure 14.4 by 7.5. I have 13.9 by 7 for my first piece of designer series paper. I have, this one is 14.4 by 2 centimeters, and the piece of designer series paper to mount on the top is 1.5 centimeters by 13.9. Okay, so the white piece for the outside and for the inside is the same size. You can, if you like, not worry about the gap here in the middle and just put your strip of designer series paper. I actually like the look of that, but you can eliminate that if you don't want it there. So let's make a start and stick some of these together. As I mentioned, a simple stamping card, very, very quick and easy to put together. I mean, I'm using Stamp and Seal, and I'm going to be sticking my designer series paper onto the coordinating piece of white. So simple, simple. And the same with my second piece as well. Now, of course, as always, when you're using Stamp and Seal, light hand, and remember that little tick just to break the stream of the adhesive. Get the second one on, hopefully straightish. We'll see, close enough to. Yeah, Gay, I think this paper is really pretty. I don't do a lot with pinks and purples, so to use Blackberry Bliss in some of these purples is kind of a surprise, because I don't normally gravitate towards those colours. With my ribbons, I have got 2 pieces. I've got the longer one, which measures around 25 centimetres to tie the bow, and the shorter piece is probably around 18 centimetres. Okay, so I'm going to be, and this is like a really beautiful soft seam binding. Now the little wrinkles in it, it comes like that. Okay, so a little bit of sticky tape just to hold the ribbon in place at the back. And of course, if you want to, you can put some double-sided tape underneath your ribbons just to hold those in place. Okay, so that is those pieces done to that point. And of course, my second piece, which measures 25 centimetres, I'm going to tie the bow. And I've got some bling somewhere here. It must be still in the bag, because I do have some sequins to put on as well. Let me just work this ribbon a little bit. This ribbon is a little bit slippery to work with, but you can tie some really nice, neat little bows. Let me see if I can find the sequins. No, they're lost. They could be anywhere. But I have got, I'm not sure if you can see just here, I've got some clear sequins. So maybe they fell out of the bag. I might still find them, you never know. Okay, so let's put this lot together and then we'll do a little bit of stamping. Okay. I have used dimensionals on this card, but I've only used dimensionals underneath the sentiment. So, again, some Stamp and Seal. And just remember that little tick. Normally when I'm using ribbons like this, sometimes they're a little bit more bulky, but this ribbon sits nice and flat because it is fairly thin. So it does a really nice job to stick it down flat. So if you are using a ribbon or trim that might be a little bit thicker, just pop this piece up on dimensionals. So there is the first piece. And the second piece, which sits on the inside, but it still has that little bit of the matting as well, just around the edge. It's going to sit there, around there. And you also get, of course, that strip there of the Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so I need to stick my piece on the inside as well. And this white, as I mentioned earlier, is the same size as the one on the front. And that's going to go around about there. I didn't quite line that up. You can see that little bit of the white there, but I'm going to live with that. You'll only notice it if you look closely. Oh, I found the little bling. Let me show you. I don't know if these will show up. Oh, there we go. So these are little sequins. They do have a little glue dot on the back of them as well, but being a little bit clear, they're a little hard to see. So I'm glad I didn't lose those. Okay, next we need to do a stamp. And this one I have done, which is probably one of my favourite sentiments, is Just a Note. And of course, being a photopolymer stamp set, you will get staining on your stamps. Please don't worry too much about that. It doesn't affect the way they work at all. It just shows that they've been well used. So I have got Blackberry Bliss. And give it a good ink. I might test this because I don't use this ink pad a great deal. So I just want to make sure on a piece of paper that's stamping nicely. This circle is cut from, I should just hold it up just a little bit so you can see some more detail. So it does have that little bit of detail around the outside. This is from Spotlight on Nature die set, which always gives you really pretty finishes on each of the on the circles in that set. Now, if you don't have a circle punch or a circle die, you can use any shape that you like. You know, cut a simple square or rectangle, and this is going to work the exact same way. Let me get this ink pad closed. Now, this looks a little dark, but as that dries a bit more, it will lighten up just a tiny bit. Okay, so next I need to stick this on, and it's going to go roughly in the center, but I'm only going to be putting dimensionals on one half. If you put dimensionals under this half here, it's only going to stick the card together. Okay, so let me grab some of those. And I've got some minis here. Just making sure I know which side. So I'm just going to do 3 down the middle and just a couple of extra. So this, compared to my normal cards, is actually a very, very flat card, because normally I would have at least 2 layers of dimensionals. But this one works really nicely without too many layers. Okay, so of course, using the Take Your Pick tool, just stab into the back of the dimensionals and they flick straight up. So get this one around about there. And then you can see I don't have any dimensionals on this section, so it can't stick onto my card. I'm going to put my ribbon on. I'm just going to trim up my ribbon a little bit. Normally I would use a glue dot, but I want this to stick a little bit better. So I'm going to be using some of the tear and tape. And that way then, rather than just that little glue dot, it's going to have a good couple of centimetres of adhesive to stick it down. So the tear and tape is, as it says, you can tear it. And I'm putting this along the back. So you can see there that there is just a little bit more, I guess, surface coverage with the adhesive rather than just a glue dot there in the middle. So gently peel that up. The bow goes on, and it will stick a little better using that than just the glue dot. There's a little bit more coverage, so the adhesive will actually be on the cardstock underneath as well. Okay, finally, to finish this card off, we have the sequins that I found just a few moments ago. These also come in the packet. There's 3 different colours. There's also, I'm going to say Pretty Peacock and a pink. And I'm going to say it's possibly Flirty Flamingo. But the bonus is with these adhesive-backed sequins is that they're really cost-effective because you get quite a few and they're different sizes in the packet. So I'm using the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool. If it's feeling a little dry, just pinch off the putty and then just give the putty tip a turn, and then you'll get new putty coming out. And just sliding these up and putting those on. Oh, I picked up 2 then. We'll live dangerously. We'll stick them both on at the same time. Oh, I just want to move that one ever so slightly. It's a little too close. There we go. Almost worked. And there is the finished card for tonight. So a simple card to do. There's not too much in the way of stamping, minimal cutting out. You could sit down and make a whole bunch of these for different occasions and just change up your designer series paper. So that is the card for tonight. As I mentioned, off the card base, you're cutting 2.5 centimetres off the front. Okay, so as mentioned, sale-a-bration, the papers I've used are free with a $100 purchase. That is through until the end of February. And of course, we have that amazing joint offer as well. There's no classes this week, but if you're local to me, there is the summer market at Old Gippstown on Saturday. I'm going to be there, so if you happen to be down at the market on Saturday morning, be sure to pop by and say hello. I'd love to see you there. And also let people know that market's on. It's going to be I think it's going to be a fun day. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I will be back next week with Facebook Live Tuesday. I've got scrapbook class Wednesday and the free class Thursday. So there'll be a couple of Facebook Lives next week, which I'm looking forward to. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you, Corinne, Gay, Simone, Mandy. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this nice, simple card made, and have a go at it. I will include the measurements in the comments once I'm done. So thanks again, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you next week.